And in Kansas, I mean, every piece of the rib you didn't want to chew on the bone afterwards. It's so delicious.
That's Donald Bates Jr. from the great state of Kansas, the Sunflower State.
We will get to him in just a moment.
Understand, I'm just a man with a pork fat baby back to lose. Yeah, understand, I'm still your man with a pork fat baby back to lose.
Gdayall, welcome to episode 2. Gdayall is a fusion podcast. It's a fusion of American East Coast and West Coast and Australia, because the token Californian here, I'm Barbra, and the New Yorker, Phil. How are you?
I'm Phil. Yeah, that's right. I'm from New York. Got a problem with that?
I got no problems. I'm not going to irritate any New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And we've both ended up living here. So we have great chats about food and what we miss from home and what we do here.
Yeah, and today what we're going to be talking about, continue on the food experience and cooking and all that. But today's theme is hometown favorites. Now, these are things that we all love when we get back home, and we'll be talking about that in the show.
Wonderful. Now, we've also been lucky enough to get a few emails from people that have listened to us during the week, which has been fantastic. So it's not just you and I talking to our relatives, which is awesome.
Now, we like to get everybody involved. So this is what the show is. We really want to get it to involve too. And we're so lucky that everybody wants us back, but we want you all to join in. We have a way to communicate with us, which is now podcast@usafoods.com.au. So tell us what you like about the show, what you want to hear about it. Participate. We want to get you on the show.
Now, Phil, we need to get to this right away. What do you get straight off the plane, straight out of the airport?
Well, if I'm in LA, it's In-N-Out Burgers.
Of course.
And if I'm in the East Coast, then it's probably getting a slice of pizza in New York.
Now I'm an iced tea addict and I can't get plain iced tea anywhere here. So I immediately get an iced tea for my ride home via taxi, Uber friendly relative and friend. And then straight through a In-N-Out Burger drive through. Or if I miss that, Taco Bell, always in a pinch.
Okay, now that's great. So let's get on to business here. So Donald Bates Jr. is coming in and he'll tell us what his favorites are. So here's Donald. So Donald, take it away. Tell us about yourself.
Good day, Phil. How are you?
Great.
Well, Phil, I come to you from Wichita, Kansas. I was born in Wichita, Kansas. I grew up in Vegas, and I went back to Kansas for university. I then graduated from university, went into politics, became a state representative, and then the youngest state senator in the history of the state. Then I ran for U.S. Congress. Between that time, I had come to Australia. I met my wife here, and the deal breaker was if I won the U.S. congressional seat, she would come to the U.S. If I lost, I would move to Australia. As you see, I lost. I moved to Australia. Since that time, we've built a home, we built a family, and a business. And then I decided I needed a little bit more, so I went on to law school, and now I have become a solicitor. And the first African-American to achieve the JD in Australia. So in a nutshell, that's Donald Bates.
There you go. See, I didn't even know that you lived in Vegas, and we've met quite a number of times. And I just thought you were, basically out of Kansas, being a Wichita lineman or something like that.
Yeah, I lived in Vegas for 10 years, and then I moved back to Kansas for university.
So tell me, when you go back home to Kansas, what's the first thing you're really hunking for, that you want to get? I got to get this before anything, to eat.
I crave barbecue. I just want some smoked barbecue that has been sitting on the grill for 24 hours and it just falls off the bone. And Kansas City, as you know, is known for its barbecue. But Gates Barbecue, if I stop at in Missouri to come home. If I come straight to Wichita, there's some good barbecue down there as well. But the Miller's baked beans I just have to have some Miller's baked beans. And you can get those in the grocery stores all throughout Wichita and all throughout the Midwest.
I have to go look for that. So, what makes them so special? Better than bush baked beans, I guess.
Oh yes, much much better. Than no, no offense, Bush baked beans, but I Miller's is a hometown favorite. She had a barbecue restaurant, and then some things happened in her life, and she just moved forward to build her brand in the barbecue beans, and it has a bit of beef in the beans. I mean, it's really really nice. It's the smoked barbecue beef that she would normally sell from the ribs or the brisket, and just delicious. I mean,
Oh,
I look forward to getting back and getting me another tub full of them.
yeah, yeah. And the first time, see, like grow up in New York, the only baked beans I mean, would basically open out a can of Campbell's beans and had that
Yeah.
little piece of pork in it. But my first thing of having real baked beans was in Kansas because my brother-in-law is from Johnson County, Kansas, and we had a family get together when we were there. My mom was there and my sister, and like he invited all his relatives there, and it was a big summertime thing. Everybody brought a dish, and I really remember the beans being so much different how they made it there. But I just got to really just one little funny thing. So during that time, my brother-in-law Norman, he liked to pull my strings a bit, right, as a kid. So he knew one of the things that I really despised was Miracle Whip. I couldn't stand Miracle Whip. So here we had a Sunday dinner. Everybody brought stuff, and at the time, Jello mold was in tune, and which I never had before. So I go make myself a plate up, and he's watching me, and I have this Jello and this white stuff on top of me, not knowing what it is. So, and I'm saving it to last, and he's clued in, and he's watching me because he knows I think this is dessert, right? Until I take my first mouthful of this salad Jello mold stuff with Miracle Whip on it, and he just watched me and made sure I didn't spit it out.
That is
Yeah.
disgusting.
It was disgusting.
I like a good Jello molds, but Miracle Whip should never be involved.
Miracle Whip should not be involved with, and I know a lot of people love Miracle Whip,
But not on Jello.
No,
Hey,
yeah.
Donald. Now, my mom, one time when I went home, she made every holiday's meal in 1 week. So we had St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. She made everything. When you go home, what is something out of your mom's kitchen that you long for?
Oh, some cornbread and collard greens.
Oh,
I mean, just that alone is a meal for me. But of course, she likes to throw a ham in there and through all these different meat. But I'm just as happy with the collard greens and cornbread. I think that'll do it for me.
yeah.
Yes.
My mom likes to give a food hug. It sounds like your mom does as well.
Yeah, and she just wants to make me feel home. I'm back home. She said, "Don't go out and buy any of that fast food stuff. You're at home, so you'll eat properly while you're here." And I mean, I eat properly when I'm here back in Australia as well because my wife is Sri Lankan, so she puts
Oh,
together a good chicken curry dish or kala sambal or something.
Mm. So you got to fuse. You got to fuse a Sri Lankan with some soul food. You got to fuse that together and get come up with a new combo.
Yeah, she tries to do the cornbread, but my wife she'll literally take the corn and make a bread out of the corn, and she literally turns it into cornbread. She doesn't use the corn meal. She
that is amazing.
breaks it down and makes a cornbread. So I mean, it's all delicious at the end of the day.
Oh, would be my stepdad loves when I go home because it's the only time my mom will make liver and onions, which I know is controversial, but it is my favorite.
Oh, that's nice. I like liver and onion. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yes, yeah. So he always says, I think we should have it twice before Barbara goes home because I won't get it again.
I grew up loving liver too, but we had like liverwurst, and I just made sandwiches. And again, going back to the Miracle Whip thing, I'm a true Hellman's mayonnaise guy, and I've been making mayonnaise sandwiches. And one of my favorites as a kid was liverwurst with mayonnaise. And then, so I like liver. And over here, you get, you go to some of the RSLs and stuff like that. You get the lamb's fry, which is liver and onions, and sometimes that's really good. And bacon they put in it.
I gotta wait for the seniors menu for that. They don't serve it to the rest of us.
Yeah, that's true. The 4:30. You got to get there before 4:30, like in Florida.
Hey, Donald, I speaking of your mom, well, I was doing a little bit of research on you, even though I've met you a few times.
Yeah.
She was an extra in Casino. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. I don't know if you watch very closely, you'll see this black woman with this big hair on her head and screaming, running across the street, the strip of Las Vegas. That's her. So,
Oh, great.
fortunate again.
That's one of my favorite movies. I think I might have to have a rewatch tonight in your mom's honor.
Yeah, and she's visiting here, so she's been stuck in quarantine with us. And I don't send her back to the U.S. right now because, as you know, what's happening in America, I don't think any of us want to be back there right now.
No, you want to keep her safe and sound. Now, when you go home with the kids, now what treat do you like to give them that you used to have?
Well, I like to give them pretty much whatever they'll eat because my daughter is very, very picky. And she likes her pizzas. So she loves the pizza in America. She loves American pizza. My son, I think he's just still a Sri Lankan at the heart, and he just give him some rice and curry, and he's fine. So we go looking for rice and curry in the U.S. in Kansas, which is difficult, but it's becoming more and more prevalent there. But I try to get them to just test out the cuisines like there's a Cracker Barrel in Kansas, and they have all of the macaroni and cheese. They love that. I mean, they really do a good job at the Cracker Barrel. It smells good, it tastes good, and you just want more. Now that's one of the places that I try to stop back on my way back home, but I like to touch base at the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, but it's hard. Like when you go to Kansas, it's hard. Why? You go to Cracker Barrel, yeah, but I mean, you got all that barbecue. Arthur. What was the other one? Arthur somebody's and Kansas he's famous for. I'm thinking Arthur Treacher's. It's not Arthur Treacher's, but there's an Arthur somebody. Arthur Bryant. Yeah.
Arthur Bryant. That's it.
Yeah, that's like fantastic. And you go to one. I remember the last time I was there. And we went to one just to get burnt ends. And then another one just to get the ribs. And then on the way home, myself and Rachel, my niece, the last place we went, they had fried pickles, and we ate those on the way back.
Oh, I love those. And they do barbecue in Kansas, in particular, in a way that it doesn't leave the rib just with a lot of meat on it. You want to get every piece of meat off of that rib when you have that Kansas barbecue. I can't eat everyone's ribs because they just don't do them right. But in Kansas, I mean, every piece of the rib you want to chew on the bone afterwards. It's so delicious.
I get amazed when I go here to the butchers or the groceries and you see ribs and they put on American ribs and it's covered with some type of barbecue sauce. And you can't cook ribs with barbecue sauce.
Absolutely.
And I could imagine everybody goes home and tries to make them and comes out disappointed.
Well, that's the first thing we tell people in the store. It's like, you can buy this sauce. It's fantastic, but do not cook it in it.
No. I mean, it's almost better to pour some beer on them than
exactly.
Barbecue sauce, with steam and let them really smoke for a good 8 to 24 hours, I guess, on a slow smoke, and you really want it falling off the bone.
Yeah, but if you don't have that, like the other thing that I do, I use my a sous vide. That's the old French word. And I put my ribs into the sous vide. I put a rub on them, put them in that for like 18 to 24 hours in the sous vide. Take them out of that, then put them on the hot barbecue to sear them on both sides. And it just like you said, like the meat just comes right off the bone. You got nothing left. The poor dog will starve because he's only got a bone with no meat on it to give him. But it is to me that's an easy way if you don't have a smoker to get around that and have like the same end product.
I was going to say we should organize lunch after these recordings because I don't know if I can make it through to the end.
Well, Phil, if you can put that recipe in your show notes, I mean, I would love to figure out how you do that because it seems more simplistic than what they do back home in those big smokers.
Okay, that's a good idea. I'll do that. Definitely.
Okay, so we've got barbecue on the way in. Phil actually, he likes pizza. I like In-N-Out. Now on the way home, so your last ride to the airport, what is the last thing that you get? And I want Phil to chime in. And Brendan and I'll just tell you, we last time we went back with our kids, we had to drop a car off near the LAX airport, so we managed to go to Randy's Donuts again. Just
So,
we got a donut the size of your head, and we picked those up and we ate them on the plane on the way back. That was fantastic. Usually it's an In-N-Out trip is my last meal before I head on the plane. What do you guys do?
Well, mine is usually barbecue if I'm in LA, because we go to this place that's in Venice, and so it's not that far from the airport. We go to Baby Blues Barbecue in Venice, and it's a really down home type place. Nothing fancy. You can't eat the atmosphere, as they say. Great food. Get filled up there. We try to get there, in the late part of the afternoon, and then finish up with that. Go nice and happy now to the airport. Drop off the car, and get on the airplane to come home. And so that's usually my last meal is Baby Blues.
well, I like. I often I just want a good burger just to remind me of home when I get, so I'll stop at In-N-Out, but there's a hamburger place in Vegas, and I usually go through Vegas on my way back home, and it's called Hamburger Heaven. And my goodness, their hamburgers are heavenly. You have to go through some rough terrain to get there, but it's in the middle of North Las Vegas, and you just don't show up in North Las Vegas like a tourist. But
Yeah.
once you get to heaven, it is just divine. And then the airport in Vegas, for dessert, I'll snatch up a Cinnabon and then just pack it with me and have it on the airplane when I get on that last leg from LA to Melbourne.
Yeah, so you don't have to eat that omelet that they try to give you.
Oh God, with that sausage. Oh, that's
That
terrible.
sausage is the same sausage for years.
Oh.
Now, Donald, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. It has been really enjoyable, and I hope we can do it again. Now,
Thank you.
can you tell us, because you do a podcast that I think we should all listen to as well, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so my co-host and I, Diana Elliott, we decided one day that we've always wanted to do a podcast. So last October, we launched Greenland, the podcast, www.greenlandthepodcast.com, and the Greenland idea came from something President Trump mentioned when he wanted to purchase Greenland, and we thought, wow, let's use Greenland as the name for our podcast. So at Greenland, we explore the differences and similarities between the United States and Australia. And lately, we've been talking a lot about the election process and what's happening in America. But we often talk about sports and expats that have expat lawyers that now live in Australia. So it's really engaging. We get guests from every political divide and all over America and Australia. So you tune in if you're interested in exploring some of the differences and similarities that both of our countries share.
That sounds fantastic. We've got a nice community here of expats. Again, thank you so much for today, and we'll get back to our secret code.
Our secret code today is hometown. So hometown is your secret code, and that will give you a special discount on your next purchase for this week.
That is fantastic, and please use it, share it. If you subscribe, you'll get it every week.
And now we do have an official way to communicate with us. So it's podcast@usafoods.com.au. So if you like the show, you got comments, you want to maybe even come on the show, go to podcast.com.au and tell us what you think.
Well, yes, it's like we're official now. That's sort of scary in a good way. We got a few emails this week. some people that listened, and they were talking about some good experiences with us. And one was Jamie, and Jamie's from Missouri. And Jamie,
Missouri. That's
Missouri.
Missouri. It depends what side they are on.
That is true. So Jamie makes a gooey butter cake that evidently is from Missouri. I have never heard of it, but I need to have one immediately. Because
well, you know what they say in Missouri or Missouri, it's a show me state. So show me your butter cake.
But anything with gooey and butter, I'm all in for. Jamie makes this for people at work and has won them over. So that was great to hear from Jamie. And also there was another person named Samantha who touched my heart a bit, because Samantha was here as a student as well in the 80s and met her husband here, who's Australian, who you guys, like, they keep importing us. Now her son is in Canada. What?
It's like deja vu for you.
That's exactly right. I was like, oh, I like this. But her son is in Canada at the moment. And for Mother's Day, we were able to help make her day special. He had organized a package from us filled with her goodies from home and arranged it during the middle of a phone call or a FaceTime call with his mom on Mother's Day to have a package delivered to her for her to open it up. And there were all the goodies. And we were able to be a part of that, which is awesome.
That is really, that, you know, the timing of that had to be just spot on, you know, to have it delivered. And I'm sure he was in touch with the delivery person, but what a great idea to do that, huh? She said, hold on. Yeah, go ahead, go get the door, knowing that it was the package.
Well, you know, I think that's the son of the year. He gets an extra special Christmas present. Yep. After we're talking about all these lovely things, I think we need to do some national food holidays again.
Da, 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 da. So we love this was a great part last time, and I think this is really going to be a lot of fun again.
I think so too, because I'm hungry.
Yeah. So the first one is National Great American Pot Pie Day. Well, that might be something different now because of 420.
That's true, but I'll go back to the Swanson's or the Marie Callender's chicken pot pie or turkey pot pie.
Yeah, that was my. I always remember the Swanson's. I think they were like 25 cents, but I remember the bottom part of the pie was like the best part. You know, like the dewy or whatever pastry on the bottom was the best one.
Oh yeah, I used to burn my mouth eating them every single time.
Yeah.
And I used to babysit for my friends George and Teresa, and they would have a Marie Callender's chicken pot pie in the freezer for me. They knew.
Now a pot pie is much different than the Aussie meat pie. It's just different.
It is. It's
same category.
It's like different. A stew in a pie.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. What's the next one, Bob?
Ooh, key lime pie day.
Ooh, Florida time.
That is right, and it's tangy and wonderful, and there is no bad key lime pie.
That's true. There's no, well, find me a bad dessert. God.
Well, no, you can't. Well, although White Chocolate Day is also on the same day, and I know you're not a fan. My mother and I made I made myself sick on it when I was about 8, so I can't eat it either.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll skip White Chocolate Day. I'm not a fan of that. Then next one is on Thursday is National Cherries Jubilee Day. Sounds like something with the Queen. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We never do that.
Nah, skip that one. Friday.
It's Crustacean Day, I think, because we've got Lobster and Crab Meat Newburgh Day. I don't get it. I like a lobster.
Yeah, I wouldn't do if I'm having lobster. It's just, you know, grilled with butter sauce, and yeah, I'm not gonna put anything else onto it. I want to taste that lobster. Other than, and a very big New York treat, if you go to New York or even in Florida, because of all the ex-New Yorkers down there, the New York Chinese food is a whole different scene and culture. And one of my favorite things there was lobster Cantonese. So good. And you can't get it anywhere else.
Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say, I come from a farming town, so I don't think we have that at our Chinese food places.
No, I don't think so.
You know, Saturday is Saturday the 26th is National Pancake Day.
Ooh, pancakes are my favorite. That's also like one of the things, probably coming home. We were talking about what we do when we get off the airplane. But coming home in the morning it's like always we go to like either IHOP or we go
Mm-hmm.
to another, even Denny's, the place you want to go when there's nowhere else.
Yeah, Grand Slam breakfast.
Yeah, to have pancakes because the pancakes are so good. And it took me years and years and years to figure out what ingredient is that nobody's telling me about that makes the pancakes so good. And it's very simple. Buttermilk. Just add buttermilk instead of regular milk, and you get that at Aldi or any other store. And if you don't have buttermilk in, mix regular milk with either plain yogurt or sour cream, and you get the same effect.
Or vinegar. I've had to do it with vinegar and a pinch of tablespoon, and you have to watch it curdle. It's like a science experiment.
No, I don't know. I don't like it. And the other thing the other day I was having sour cream on my potato, and I was wondering, how do you know when sour cream is sour when it goes off?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a work fridge I once had. When things cracked, that's when we thought they were off.
Okay. Well, now what's on Sunday the 27th?
Sunday the 27th is the National Chocolate Milk Day. Now, we have found another fusion event here. So, Yoo-hoo is a chocolate milk back at home, and evidently was brought out here in 1970. And for Alex Jezelenko, who had the best mark in the 1970 Grand Final, the AFL Grand Final, he was number 25, and he played for Carlton, which is my team. So Jezza used to be the spokesperson for Yoo-hoo.
So he was like the Yogi Berra, because Yogi Berra, number 8, great catcher for the Yankees. He was the spokesman for Yoo-hoo back in the day. And his little tagline was, "Mihi for Yoo-hoo." Don't ask me what "mihi for Yoo-hoo," but it's one of those yogiisms. Like a nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. That's another one of those.
No, I don't think Jezza said a whole lot. I think he kept it all out in the field. And the next day, or the same, Sunday, is National Corned Beef Hash Day, which I adore.
Yeah, my wife loves corned beef hash, and that's also one of her go-to things when we're back home. I'm not a big fan of corned beef hash, but that's okay.
Well, when you cook it, you got to get that sort of crust on the bottom.
Yeah, well,
so
I like
crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
And on Monday, the 28th, it's Strawberry Cream Pie Day. I don't know about that. I'm a glazed strawberry pie person.
Yeah, like the Marie Callender glazed stuff. Yeah, that's sensational. And also, for all of you that one of these days will be going back to America, everybody, hopefully, is go to Marie Callender's and just go for coffee and pie. That's all. It's just worth it.
Their pies are awesome. I still have a few pie plates that have made their way over here. And also, if pie's not your thing, there is National Drink Beer Day. God bless America.
Yes. Yeah. But there's more than one, because I think they forgot about it. So there's 8 of them that go out throughout the whole year. So I think, this one's a good holiday. When's the next one? We're going to wait next year? No, let's do the next one in October, And so
that's right.
Yeah, so they have 8 of them, just in case they forgot about the last one, which they probably did.
Okay, and I think we'll finish the week on Tuesday, the 29th, is National Coffee Day, which all seems very civilized, really.
Yeah, coffee. Well, the best thing of waking up is Folgers in your cup. There we go with these little rhymes. And the other one, which is a New York coffee, is chock full of nuts, has no nuts in it, sort of like grape nuts, no grapes, no nuts, chock full of nuts. And now they even have to put on the can, to be socially correct, contains no nuts. So chock full of nuts is that heavenly coffee, the best coffee a millionaire's money can buy. There you go. There's another little tagline for chock full of nuts.
Oh, I like it. Now we need to talk about what's happening next week, because guess what? We're coming back next week.
We are? You mean they're going to have us back again for the 3rd time? So next week's theme is going to be the famous barbecue.
Oh, there's so much to talk about.
There is so much to talk about because barbecue is gotten really big here in Australia. They figured out that, we could use a barbecue with fire underneath it, not a griddle pan. So,
Well, so
yeah.
there's grilling and smoking and, low and slow and all that good stuff. And we
Yep.
will be discussing that more next week. And
Yep.
also, back to the podcast and us being here next week, you can now subscribe to us on Apple and Stitcher and Spotify. Just
Woohoo.
like a real podcast. It's fantastic.
So, look, this is the closing of the show. One thing that I didn't do last week, and I want to do this week, is to thank Brendan. Brendan is our producer. He's helping us put us all together because otherwise we would be completely lost. So, thank you, Brendan. And his company is Fizz Farm. So, if you have anything that you really want to do about podcasts or webcasts or any other production things, just go to our podcast at usafoods.com.au and we'll send you Brendan's information.
Fantastic. Yes, he's good. He's kind of bossy, but I'll keep him.
Okay. And I'll say bye, y'all, for now.
I think I'm going to say, because in California we say later.
Later.
Or later, dude. I might just go later, mate. See ya.
Once you find a love like mine, you know that love is true. Understand, I'm just a man with a pork fat baby back blues. Yeah, understand, I'm still young.